相信大多数的马来西亚人都是透过影视作品和平面图像认识海马。普遍上，我们都知道海马因为它的头部酷似马头而得名。除此之外，海马还会跳舞求爱，甚至和变色龙一样，可以通过变色来伪装自己。只是相较于海马这些有趣的特征，国人更好奇的是，马来西亚真的有海马吗？
So yes, we do have seahorses here in Malaysia. In fact, we are blessed with 12 species out of the 47 described species globally. So the seahorses can be found all over Malaysian waters.
海马的头部虽然酷似马头，但它们终究不是生活在海中的马，它们是名副其实的鱼类，隶属海龙鱼科。因为它们跟常见的鱼一样，用鳃呼吸，用鳍游泳。不过，它们也是鱼类中最迟缓的游泳者之一。不善游泳的它们，喜欢躲藏在不受海水冲击的地方。
Seahorses can be found on the tropical and the subtropical region, so anywhere except for the Arctic and the Antarctic where the extreme colds are. So seahorses can be found on a global scale on that front. But here in Malaysia, we have them all over because we are very close to the equator. It's not just the corals, it's not just the seagrass, but they also found in seaweed patches, mangrove forests, the slightly deeper waters, sandy bottom, muddy bottom, all except for our riverine water system because they only found in where seawater can be found.
海马最广为人知的特征就是有孕育带的雄海马会怀孕。不过，海洋研究专家林志威博士却指出，与其说雄海马是怀孕，倒不如说它是代孕，因为雄海马和雌海马交配时，需要依靠雌海马把体内的卵子排进它的孕育带，才能受精。
Seahorses are the only animal in the world where the male gets pregnant and gives birth. So when they give birth to hundreds to thousands of little sea ponies, and you get pregnant probably about 14 to 21 days.
此外，很多人也误以为海马和陆地上奔跑的马一样是草食动物，实际上它们是实实在在的肉食动物，而且还是鲨鱼般的顶级猎食者。
They would basically eat anything that can fit into its snout. So this is the snout of the seahorse. Yep. So it's like a straw-like snout. So what they do is they will look around to hunt for its prey before sucking it up. So what they eat? So they eat predominantly on fish larvae, smaller fishes, shrimps, crabs, copepods, anything alive that can fit its snout. A seahorse will eat them. Seahorses are important because they act as the top predator at the bottom of the ocean. So think of seahorses like we think of sharks. So why is that so? Because shark is the top predator. Sharks are naturally bigger. So seahorses are like the sharks towards the bottom, where they feed on the tiny critters which the shark do not normally feed on. So they control the population of the ecosystem right at the bottom. So it's the small shrimps. Without the seahorse, these shrimps they will overgrow and they will grow in large populations, and these eventually lead to an ecosystem collapse. So seahorses act like the environmental or ecological control in that aspect.
守护海马以及它们的栖息地，正是大马拯救海马学会成立的宗旨。这一个非营利组织由已故大马海马之父朱吉光成立。在他于2013年过世之后，作为他的学生的林志威博士接手了他的研究工作，而海马的研究范围也从成立初时的柔佛州普莱河扩展到全马的海域。
Now we're looking to raise marine conservation awareness here in Malaysia using seahorses as our flagship species. So we're out here to drive, to educate and to raise the awareness level that we in Malaysia here we have seahorses. So our mission here in SOS Malaysia, we started with the same mission from the start until right now. the very mission is to get seahorses to be legally protected here in Malaysia.
大部分的海马种类在国际自然保护联盟濒危物种红色名录中都列入数据缺乏的分类，只因为目前所掌握到的信息不足以对它们的保护状况进行正确的评估。大致上，海洋研究专家也只能凭借海马的栖息地，如珊瑚礁和海藻的减少，来判断海马近10年的数量已经锐减了50%。此外，大量捕捞也是海马数量大减的主要原因。
They are actually a very important ingredient in traditional medicine recipes, mostly under the East Asia culture. They are extremely popular, not only as a traditional medicine, part of an ingredient, they're also popular as curio and souvenirs. So seahorses have been known to be placed into yo-yos, into toys, keychains, ornaments, or even wall art, right? So these are also, they are being sold as that. And the other aspect we have, seahorses are also popular when they are alive. They are being traded in aquariums, but I would say that would be because we are not in the scale where seahorses are being cared for in a proper way. So many times the seahorses are being purchased and then they're brought back home, they would die in about a week or two. Why? Because the understanding of the life cycle and the behavior of the seahorse is quite low to be. They are also subjected to various threats on a global scale. For example, destructive fishing techniques like bottom trawls, so which wipe out and which eventually led to habitat loss and destruction.
为了搜集更多本土的海马文化价值和贸易资料，大马拯救海马学会也跟马来亚大学合作，展开一项全国海马调查。该调查问卷将会在近期内发布到他们学会的面子书。
So this National Seal Survey is we are going back to the ground. So we want you to be able to be participating with us and join us in our survey. We want to be asking, what do you know or how much do you know about seahorses in a traditional medicinal point of view? Or do you think seahorses play a part in our culture? In all different demographics from all different races as well. Not only that, we are also on the ground to look out to identify and update our information with regards to the trade of seahorses here in Malaysia. Our plan here at SOS Malaysia, at least in the short term, is to roll out our national seahorse survey, and we'll be doing that and covering every single state here in Malaysia, trying to gather as much information over the next 2 to 3 years, and then eventually towards the end we are looking at coming out with a national report and also as well as a recommendation on how we can move forward in getting them to be protected here.
人类和动物都是大自然的一部分，两者只有和谐共处，才能维持生态的平衡。如果人类继续利用野生动物的痛苦来安抚自己的焦虑，利用它们的血肉来满足自己的欲望，